Hey Leo, what's going on? Welcome to your September of 2019 astrology and tarot reading. My name is Jai Gobind. This is your channel for grace. Thank you guys so much for being here, for subscribing, for hitting the notification bell, and also giving this video a thumbs up. We are going to talk about 7 major astrological events that are happening in September and how these events are going to be affecting you in a personal way in your chart. So as a Leo sun sign and or a Leo rising sign. So make sure that you know which is your rising sign so that you can watch the video of that sign as well. Once I go over the astrology and which houses these events are going to be happening in, I will be doing a tarot reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. So stay tuned for that. And let's get right into it. The first event that is happening in September is happening on the 1st, and it is a Mars and Sun conjunct Mars in the sign of Virgo. Mars is our drive, and the Sun is like who we are. It's our identity. And this is going to be happening in your second house of finances and what you value, the kind of stability that you value when it comes to material things. So you're going to feel this drive to really express yourself in a financial way. So if you don't make money, you're probably going to want to make money. You're going to feel this like, I need to make money. Like, I want to value myself. And so the way that I value myself is like more material possessions. And this is not a negative thing. This is definitely something that is very important for us to feel rewarded for the things that we create. And, so gaining money sometimes is seen as a negative thing, but it's actually a very amazing and positive thing if you know how to value it. That's what I want to say about that. On the 3rd, the conversation between Mars and the Sun adds Venus and Mercury. They're going to be in an exact conjunction at 10 degrees of Virgo, and Mercury Venus will be pretty much pulled into the conversation because the other planets are going to be together. And that's also going to be happening in your second house of finances. So the thoughts are going to come in, and they're going to be thoughts that are wanting to plan, wanting to organize, wanting, knowing when to proceed, and knowing that you need to proceed only when you know you're going to be successful. So this is very amazing, like organizing skills that Virgo is bringing to this equation. So in this house of finances, you're going to feel a very intense like pull towards that. The thing I forgot to mention is that on the 1st, the Sun-Mars conjunction will be trining Uranus, which is in Taurus, in your 10th house of career. So finances and career, those two houses are getting connected, which is really, really cool because Uranus asks things to be different. It asks you to find a different perspective. It asks you to think differently, think outside the box, figure things out in a different way. So your drive is going to be to like make money, gain materialistic things, more value to your life in that realm, and it's going to be connected to your career, and that's really, really cool. On the 13th, we have the full moon in Pisces, and the full moon in Pisces is happening in your 8th house of death, sex, and money, but not your money. It's like other people's money. It's like inheritances. This full moon will be a very emotional full moon. There's a lot of aspects that the moon is making to all of these other planets, like the Sun, Mercury, Mars, Venus conjunction, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune. It'll actually be conjunct Neptune in Pisces, which is like unreal. Sextiling Pluto and also trining the North Node. There's so much that this moon is doing on this day that it's impossible to get into detail in this chart. I talk a little bit about it in the September astrological forecast video, but I am going to be doing a whole separate video just to talk about the chart because it's going to take me like at least probably 30 minutes to talk about it. That's how much there is to talk about it. But it's going to be very powerful, and a lot of us are going to be feeling this very emotional release. And the conversation is going to be a very powerful one because it's in your 8th house of death. You're going to feel it's like endings, but also pointing towards beginnings. The endings that move towards the beginnings, which is like, it's beautiful because it's all about growth and it's all about moving forward in your life. The 14th, the day right after the full moon, about 9 hours later, Mercury and Venus are going to be moving into Libra, and they're going to be conjuncting at 0 degrees Libra, which is also a beautiful energy because it is the beginning. It's a beginning towards focusing on relationships, a beginning towards focusing on cooperation, on seeing the both sides of the equation and working together with people. However, because this is going to be opposing Chiron, it's going to be a very interesting dynamic. Mercury and Venus are going to be in your 3rd house of communication. There's a lot happening in your 3rd house of communication this month, very interestingly enough. And the opposition to Chiron, which is in your 9th house of spirituality, is going to be asking you to heal wounds from the past. So, and these wounds are wounds about not feeling like you're good enough or not feeling like you're being good enough, which for a Leo, that can be like, okay, I'm not touching that, because you always want to look your best and you always want to be your best. You don't want to look at how you, when you feel insecure, like I don't want to go there. I just want to, but the truth is that Leos can have that very deep insecurity, and that's the reason why they always want to look their best. You can kind of read between those lines. When they're in their best expression, they're in the love. So they want to express themselves very strongly, but from a heart space. But when they're not in balance, they want to express themselves because they just need other people to validate them. So this is going to bring up some of those fears that have to do with feeling like you're not being good enough, and also that you are not able to communicate. And because it's in your 3rd house, it's going to be very like, oh my God, I feel like I can't communicate right now. And you need to deal with it. Whatever comes up on this day, you need to deal with it. And you need to give yourself time to process, because it is going to be intense. Right after the full moon, for that to be coming up again, it's like, oh my God, we just went through this immense emotional thing, and now we're having to deal with more wounding and healing, emotional patterns. So it'll be intense. We're all going through this, just in very kind of different places individually in our lives, but we're all going through this. So this is as a collective. So just know that there's growth being asked of everyone. That's what we need to remember for September. On the 17th, the moon is going to conjunct Taurus in your 10th house of career. And it'll also be quincunxing Mercury in Libra in your 3rd house. So more stuff happening in your 3rd house and your 10th house of career. So the moon in Taurus. So let's talk about Uranus. Uranus is the planet that whenever it comes into conversation with other planets, it says, hey, let's think outside the box. Let's be different. Let's change the beat, right? And the moon in Taurus is feels like sensual, feels comfortable, feels happy, wants the best of the best. You know what I mean? And, Mercury is in Libra, which wants to communicate and think about how to cooperate with people. But what this is more pointing towards is the universe is asking you on this day to think differently and to feel differently. So it's almost like giving you an opportunity to figure out a different way to heal. The things that come up with the full moon and with the Mercury and Venus opposing Chiron Uranus is going to be like, I've got an idea, and this is way different than you thought you were going to resolve this, but it's a really good idea, and it's a whole new way to feel. And that's what's so beautiful about this day. On the 18th, Saturn goes direct in your 6th house of work in Capricorn. And basically it's go time. It's time. Your ambition is going to like snap out of it. You're going to wake up and be like, let's do this. Self-discipline, determination, working hard to meet your goals. Like Leos love that. Leos love that. They do. They usually, a lot of Leos have plans for like, they have big plans. You know what I mean? And so if your work is aligned with your passion, you're going to feel very, very awesome on this day. You're going to feel this like, yes, let's move forward. Let's do it. On the 22nd, Saturn is going to oppose the moon, which is in the opposite house, the 12th house of the subconscious mind, of intuition, and of psychic abilities. And that's going to be a tough day for everybody. Just hands down, very tough. You're going to be in your subconscious mind. You're going to be in the unknown, in the world of the unknown, with this moon in Cancer, very emotional energy, being told all the things that you're doing wrong by Saturn. Saturn is the authoritative figure. It's the parent that's like yelling at the very sensitive child, like, why are you crying? You know, and you're like, I just feel a lot and I don't know what to do. And like, stop crying, you know, and it's just like, it makes you cry more. Well, what this is going to bring up is we're going to feel like giving up. We're going to feel like there's too many obstacles in the way. We're going to feel a lack of confidence to pursue our dreams. And it's just a test. It's just a test because Saturn is still direct. And we still feel that ambitious energy to like move forward. But we're also going to be like taking time to process a lot of emotional stuff this month. So the way to get through this energy is to stay positive, motivate yourself. Activate the power to motivate yourself and do it by way of intuition. Listen to your intuition on this day. It will guide you so perfectly to exactly where you need to do, where you need to be and what you need to do. The next day, it's like, boom, we shift energies because the sun moves into Libra, out of Virgo into Libra, and the fall season arrives. It's the fall equinox. We're going into an internal journey. It's interesting because September feels like a lot of up and down waves. But this going within is really marked clearly with the fall equinox on the 23rd. And that's happening in your third house of communication. And we end the month on the 28th with a new moon in Libra, which is about setting intentions, new beginnings, and that's also happening in your third house of communication. So this is about finding new ways to communicate, setting new intention to, I think, really bring yourself out, like communicate yourself out to the world, share yourself out to the world. And it's going to be what you need to do in order to heal and in order to like continue on to the next level and to get ready for the next month and the next set of transits. But I feel like this is a really powerful month for a lot of us, for all of us. And there is a lot going on. So don't feel bad that it'll feel a little bit up and down. There's a lot going on, like I said, in your third house of communication. So take your time. Take your time when you need to communicate. Don't be impulsive about trying to say things. Just like take it easy. You have the key, I think, this month to really start to pursue a career in something that you're really passionate about and to start to think differently and more clearly and to start making money with that. I do feel like that's part of what's going on for you. But we all have to go through that emotional release in order to move into the clarity. So that's what's going to be happening for you. I'm going to pull some cards. Definitely I'm going to burn some palo first and create some sacred space. So this is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, the reading. Thank you, Great Spirit, for being here with us, for helping to clear the energy of the cards and also the energy of me, so that can be open. It could be that open channel for the wisdom, the intuition, the messages to flow through to my beautiful Leo family. We will pull a intuition card, an overall theme, wisdom from the ancestors, and animal spirit card for you. So let's see what we got. What is the intuition card for Leo? The Sun. Beautiful. I think Gemini got that card too, interestingly enough. What's the challenge for Leo this month? You know, the Sun is it's your ruler and we were just in Leo, so there's a lot of you wanting to like express yourself. Let's see what came out. I'm not sure if this is actually a part of your okay. I'm gonna lay them out and let's see what comes up. Let's pull an animal card as well for you guys. But you know, Leo, the Sun is your ruler. So this is like, and now we're in Virgo, which is like, oh, for Leos. It doesn't feel that good to go from like Leo season to like Virgo season for Leos. It does for Virgos, right? But we are getting, you know, if you watch that September video, the astrological forecast for 2019, you will see like how much detail and how much push there is and how much drive there is to get things done and to really work on stuff. Ooh, the dragon. I like this. Okay. So you got the Sun, the Seven of Wands, which is a Mars and Leo energy, the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Coins, and the Dragon. So we'll start with the Sun. What I'm seeing with this picture, and I do go a lot by the pictures, just so you know, but what I'm seeing with this card is this is you. This is you wanting to express yourself. This is you wanting to communicate. This is you wanting to get the word out. And you have a lot going on in your third house of communication. So you're wanting to express yourself in a very powerful way. You wanting to be yourself. You wanting to step into purpose. You wanting to shine your light bright. And you can. September is definitely the month to get busy, to get to work, to make things happen. However, I think you feel a little bit like you have to protect yourself. I think you're feeling this protective energy, almost like you're being attacked in a way, energetically by people, and you're just trying to do you. You're just trying to be you and shine your light bright because that's what Leos do, but somehow people they're not happy with that. Because most people who are not shining their light bright are jealous or very much envious of the people that are, and so all they can do is just judge and feel very uncomfortable and like lash out, and that's what it feels like. You're kind of having to defend yourself against this energy. But I know you're strong enough, and honestly, the defending it's not necessary. Like, a lot of times to deal with something that comes up, what you have to do is literally pay it no attention. Like, don't give it any power, right? Because then it'll take your power away. But you are feeling this like pull of like, hey, I want to express myself, but I'm feeling like, you know, like people are not letting me, you know? These knights that have come out, the Knight of Wands, which is fire, and these are, you got three fire signs and one earth, or 3 fire elements cards and 1 earth card. And the wands, the knights, are, what I'm seeing in these cards is, I see you stepping into your power. I see you learning with the Knight of Wands, learning what it is to like get on your horse and be like, I'm not going to pay attention to this energy anymore. I'm not going to fight back. I'm just going to, it's time to go, you know? Like, the battle is over. Even though it feels like you need to fight against these energies that are like preventing you from expressing yourself, it's over. And the moment it's over is when you get on your horse and you go towards your dreams. and you go towards your dreams, and they have to do with your career, because the coins card or pentacles are about income, money, things like that, finances. And this is what I talked about happening in your second house, which is that Mars energy, those conjunctions between the sun, the Mercury, and Venus that are like in Virgo, that are very much like, boom, we're moving forward. It's go time, and you're on your freaking horses. You're like, okay, let's go. Fire energy, got it. Stability energy, got it. Working towards my career, got it. And then you release this, and you begin to really see yourself for who you truly are, because that's what the dragon is all about. It's about seeing your true self. Your true self emerges. That is so beautiful, you guys. And you finally see you, the sun. This is you. This is you. This is you in your fucking essence. That's what's coming. I love that. But you got to go through these things to get to that point. I hope that this resonated with you, Leo. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely leave comments if you have some, and questions if you have some down below. I will see you next month for your October of 2018 astrology and reading. Sat Nam.